been getting a lot of questions lately about the upcoming 4-star selector ticket that we'll be getting in Fate Grand Order North America about 24 hours exactly from when I'm recording / uploading this, hopefully. And since the advice that I've been giving in these conversations privately has been pretty consistent, I figured I would just make the video talking about all these same things that I'm telling other people so that everybody has my take on this. So we'll just go through quickly, and or we'll try to keep it relatively brief by my own standard. We'll see how that goes, I guess. First point that I need to make is that I don't like to talk out of my ass. I don't have my own scatty. I don't play quick looping teams. I know that's what a lot of people want to hear about right now. I'm not the guy for that, unfortunately. You'll have to seek that information somewhere else, and I apologize for that, but it is what it is. Secondly, and more importantly, my advice in this, as in all things, is just make sure that you're picking a servant that you like, firstly and foremostly. Make sure that you enjoy watching their animations, make sure that you like their personality. That's a bigger deal in this game. It's a PvE game with no competitive structure or nature, so prioritize that firstly and foremostly. That said, if you're looking for gameplay-centric advice, I think the overall best or strongest servant on offer here is going to be Yagyu. Really good DPS, quite good survivability. He is arts-based, and he is crit-heavy in his gameplay. If you're a newer or free-to-play player, you have access to MASH, and you have access to Hans Christian Andersen, you have access to Mozart, you have probably pretty easy support list access to Tamamo. So building a team around him is fairly easy. You have a couple of options that way. And Sabers are a good class to have. If you're still early in Part 1, you have a couple of really tough Lancer fights coming up at the end of Part 1. You may want to ensure that you have more than just one good Saber option in the form of, the Caesar that you've been working on, or if you've been working on Gilderay, you may want to make sure that you have a little bit of a beefier Saber roster than just that, because you do have a couple of really tough Lancer bosses coming up. Emmy is a really good pick for this. He's a servant who is quite good right now. Down the line, he'll get another buff that will make him really, really good. You could argue the best 4-star around. Certainly one of the most versatile, if not the most versatile. He's going to get a buff that will allow him to switch his Noble Phantasm type back and forth between Arts and Buster. Given that his NP has so many hits and is AoE, that's a buff that is incredibly strong for him. So he's a servant who performs well right now and will perform even better down the line, so if you like to play the long game, he's a really good way to go. I've spoken in the past about the lack of efficacy for 3-star caster and assassin units as far as in their role as DPS servants. That they tend to be really bad at it for a variety of reasons, from low multipliers on their attack to low attack stats to skill sets not typically geared towards damage, etc. So if you're lacking a good caster DPS option, I think the best one available from this list is going to be Queen of Sheba here. She has quite good damage relative to her class, and she has some good support options as well, so she can serve either role pretty easily. So I think she's a good way to go. And I have much the same things to say about Wu. I believe she has the highest damage of any 4-star assassin at NP1. She's a very good unit, has attack up, has quick up, has defense down on her first skill, as you can see. Her NP is single target, her NP is quick type, which means it hits harder than other Noble Phantasm types. So if you're looking for a strong DPS assassin, as those are pretty rare, especially among the lower rarity units, you don't have a lot of good options for DPS assassins, so she's going to be among the very best at that particular role. If you didn't re-roll for Herc, He's a really good unit to have. I don't really recommend that you use or rely on berserkers very often, but if that's the style of gameplay that you enjoy, I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. And Herc is among the very best berserkers in the game, regardless of rarity. So if you don't already have him around, he's definitely a strong pickup if you enjoy the berserker gameplay. A last point, and this is actually going to be a negative recommendation. I do not recommend that you pick up either of the Avengers, unless you're just a big fan of them. Like I said at the beginning of the video, that supersedes any advice that I'm going to give here. But ruler fights are so rare in this game, and Jalter so comparatively easy to find on any average support list, that filling that slot in your roster is a very suboptimal decision in relation to what you have the opportunity to do otherwise. Right? Picking up a strong archer or a strong caster is going to serve you much better and much more consistently than picking up the either Avenger, which you're going to use for 1 or 2 fights throughout the entirety of part 1, and even into part 2 very rarely. So I don't recommend, for gameplay purposes, I don't recommend either of the Avengers. You can accomplish a lot more with almost any of the other servants as far as plugging an actual necessary hole in terms of something that your roster doesn't already have covered. If you're new, I'm going to have my follow code, my Discord contact info in the description of this video. If you have any other questions about specific units or about anything at all as it relates to this game, please do put that in the comments or contact me privately. If I may be so bold, I'm quite generous with my time in relation to discussing this game with you guys. And I love to see requests for videos or things that you're struggling on, so that I can help you out and I can help other people out who are experiencing the same issues. So please do get in contact if you need to or want to. I'm very friendly. I'm easy to get a hold of. So thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful. If not, leave a comment and ask me to clarify something. See you, everybody.